to just change as a person, not to be the same person that I am now. Be more confident and happy and not so worried and anxious all the time. Be able to go on adventures and make friends and just not have to be concerned about everything. Worried about everyone judging me all the time. Being such a perfectionist that I don't even attempt anything if I don't think I'm going to be good at it. Things that are stopping me from going out and enjoying life, not being able to start habits, become better, lose weight, go out and exercise and play with Toby because I'm concerned about what everyone's thinking of me, or that I just don't feel, I'm always tired and exhausted and don't feel like I'm living up to expectations, and it puts more mental exhaustion and just this circle. So I started noticing in other people things that like were me, that I realized I would react the same way, and I didn't like how it was on other people, so I realized I didn't like it on me. And creatrix, I just kept researching and just kept coming back to it, and it just rung true with me. I couldn't, every time I get suggested to try something else, I just kept coming back to creatrix. Yeah, I'm just at that stage, I think. Just being happy and confident, and like we have a barbecue next weekend, and maybe not thinking about everything that could go wrong, and just enjoying being there and talking to people, and not like thinking about everything that I've said in a conversation and rehashing it and how I could have done it better and how did I come across to people and do people like me, and just all that mental chatter just stopping. So yeah, and yeah, then being fine to just go out and do what I want to do and not worry about everything. I guess I didn't expect to use my imagination so much, and just like not having to talk about the reasons behind things is strange, but it's nice because as I do think about these issues during the week, I can notice how other emotions pop up and tie to other things. Instead of just being frustrated, I'm feeling hurt or something instead. It's crazy to think if I had to explain that to someone, they would have taken that at face value and then not analysed anything past that. So if you did see someone because you were frustrated, they would have just dealt with your definition of frustrated and not the actual feelings that could have come into that. So it's cool to get your own body to be able to sort that stuff out for itself, instead of having to make sure you've actually grabbed every scenario that you can think of where you were feeling that way. Not even me and my subconscious. I don't even talk to that thing. Yeah, I'm excited to see how this week goes now, with like not worrying about what other people were thinking and trusting myself. Maybe I can start some habits. Yeah, especially if I thought a lot of this stuff was normal, and turns out that the intensity I felt it wasn't normal. Well, yeah, I was like focused on what am I going to wear, all this sort of stuff, and now I'm like, whatever I'm comfortable in. Like, yeah, so now I just have to find something that I want to wear. As I was driving there, I wasn't thinking about all the what ifs of what was going to happen or what could happen, if I was going to be awkward, how to get out of it. I was just driving there, and then I totally forgot she had a partner until I was halfway there. I was like, I wonder if he's going to be there. But then it wasn't, I'm going to be like weird in front of him, I have to watch what I say, like how's he going to react to me. It was just, oh yeah, when he turns out, like if he's there, it'll be fine. I'm sure he'll go off and do his own thing. Yeah. So I wasn't having this huge like, oh my God, what am I doing? I should turn around and go home. I was just like, yeah, it's fine. So yeah, it just, as I was driving there, I was like, holy crap, I'm not freaking out about going to this thing. Like, it'll be fine. I'll go home afterwards. And I had a driver make a comment to me. I normally would have made me feel like I wasn't good enough, like I dropped the ball or I needed to fix something, but I didn't dwell on it. I just sort of went, have I covered that? And I was like, nah, I've covered it. It's just him having an issue with it. He's the only one out of all the people that I've dealt with, so I don't think it's a problem. And then I moved on. Yeah, it's like those cliche things that you hear about and you're like, yeah, whatever. But I can't believe it actually came out of my mouth. Like, that's not something that I believed before. Yeah, it's just like, oh my God, why did I think of it that way? And it's actually, this way is a better way of looking at it. It's just like this belief with all, like within myself, where I'm just like, no, I'm just being an idiot. Like, this is what I need to know. This is what my subconscious needs to be told right now. It's fine. Like, why did I see it as a bad thing before? And it's actually pretty good that I don't need to feel that way. So it's coming at it from all these different angles. And I didn't realize how much was so involved in that one little issue, that all these things sort of stem into it. Yeah, well, I remember putting, they were like, where do you want to be in 2 to 5 years in your career? And I remember putting that I want to assist the transport manager, that I want to be the senior admin, and maybe just have 1 or 2 drivers that I manage. And I'm like, what's stopping me? Why was I holding myself back? I could be the transport manager if I want to be. Like, what do I actually want to do? What do I like? And then I can look at what I like, what aspects of my job that I want to like continue in on, and maybe hone and get better at that. I don't have to limit myself because I don't feel like I'm management material. I can make myself management material. Like, okay, you're at where you're at now, what can you do to change your situation? Like, if you're not happy, if you have bigger dreams, what can you do to fix that? Well, even lately, like last week, I started looking. I've always wanted to get into like vet or veterinary medicine, maybe like a vet tech, but then there's so much that goes into it. And I'm like, I'm passionate about it, I'll do it. But I do keep going back to those courses. So maybe there'll be a career change at some point.
Oh.
Exactly. And it's always been, but it's a lot to study and you have to put yourself out there and interact with people and in industry you don't know. And what if the dog doesn't like you? If I'm passionate about it, I'll push through it, and I'll want to do it. So
wow,
I'll see what this week brings.
I love it. You've come so far.
Yeah, I already feel like a much calmer, like happier person. I don't know if other people picked up on it yet. I haven't had any compliments, but apart from my friend the other night. But I do feel like I hear music in my head a lot more. It's not just negative thoughts and stuff now. Like, I'll just be sitting there and a song will pop into my head. And I'm like, cool, I'll go with this. Oh. Even like last weekend, I wanted to watch something online. And normally I would take my iPad out, I'd sit outside with Toby, I'd throw the toy, and I'd like sacrifice the screen quality because it might be like really dark and I can't make stuff out. And I was like, it only goes for an hour and a half. It's something that I want to watch. I'm just going to set up inside and Toby can have a sleep and it'll be fine. And then I went out and played with him afterwards. And I didn't feel guilty. I didn't sacrifice anything. I was like, even just the smallest thing. So that just made, like, before I would have been like, nah, I can't do it because it'll upset him. And I'm like, it's fine.
Yeah.
And this probably helped that I leave him alone out there for 2 to 3 hours every Saturday morning. But I don't feel guilty about it. Yeah, I know it's fine.
Big deal. But it is a big deal.
It is a big deal. I love my dog. Yeah, it's pretty cool. Yeah, when I noticed something that I would have reacted like a bad way, and I'm like, did anyone else see that? Like, I didn't lose my shit. Yeah, no, I'm feeling a lot better, a lot happier, and I'm very happy that I did this. What? How is this decisive person doing stuff at the time instead of putting all this pressure on themselves to get it done later and procrastinating? Yeah, even Monday, going home sick. I had stuff to do the next day, so I'm going to take just a couple of hours off this afternoon, go home and sleep. And normally that would be tossing up, thinking about should I do it, shouldn't I do it, what's the pros and cons, like I should just put up with it, I'll be fine tomorrow, that sort of thing. And when I was leaving, it wasn't a big deal. I was just like, okay, I'm going home, and that was it. I left. I wasn't like bargaining or making excuses or anything. I'm just gonna go home. And I got home and I thought, I feel like soup tonight, so I made my minestrone. I couldn't believe it. No big deal. It was just like, this is normal, but it wasn't. Realizing how shit I felt last weekend, and then realizing that's probably because of something and not just having to live with that and hope I get out of that funk. And then as soon as you fixed it, it was just like, I was back to normal. I was happy. I was fine. And I was like, holy crap. Like, I don't have to be stuck that way. Yeah, it's just like, I trust that I can adapt. I trust myself that if the situation, even if I can stay confident in a situation because I know that I can adapt to it. It's like a distant memory. Like, I remember being like that, but I can't imagine being like that now. It's like everything that I said at the beginning, it is me now. Like, what I planned, that's what I wanted, is where I'm at.
Yeah.
I also was smiling at all of them in there. I didn't feel like I was happy back then, but obviously, like, well, at least talking to you, I was happy. I'm like, as I was saying it all, I'm like, but I am like that now. Like, it worked. Like, past me is what I wanted to be in present me. Yeah, it's really cool. It actually works. I got to where I wanted to be, and I am happier. I have energy. I'm more confident. Like, just be like, oh, I'm like Phonak, oh, I'm not worried about going into the crowd and stuff. Like, I don't care what I look like or if people are judging me. Like, I'm gonna have fun for myself, having energy and running around with Toby, and yes, putting the headphones on, and when I was doing the gardening and not caring if the neighbors were watching me freaking dance as I'm cutting down trees. It's just so good to actually feel free. Probably just like a mess, a ball of just like anxious, downtrodden, but like I've just resigned to that's how things were going to be, that I was always going to be worried. I was always going to be anxious. I couldn't talk to people, make new friends, like progress in any way, because that's just how I was. I was awkward. I was defensive. I wasn't respected. I just wasn't really happy, I guess. I think I'm a lot more easygoing, happier, more supportive, and just like excited about things. Like, I'm down for anything. I want to do stuff. I want to explore and just make new friends, go out and do stuff, make my life better, wanting to be proud of what I'm doing and where I'm at. A lot of it, I didn't expect it to work. I guess just how happy and confident I am, just from like trusting myself and knowing myself and not procrastinating. I didn't realize that was because of any issues. I just thought that I was being lazy and putting stuff off. But like, just knowing that it's going to make me happy if I actually do it at that time, instead of just having this mental chatter about arguing with myself about when I should do something. Just do it, it's done, and then I don't have that, and just having more energy because of it. It's really cool to be able to analyze if I am getting an emotion that I didn't know had popped up, seeing what that actually is, and then figuring out, oh well, I can do this to change it. Like, it's cool to be connected to myself a bit more and be like, well, I'm like this, but this is why, and I can fix that. You can't put a value on it. It's amazing. I don't know, I never believed that I could be how I am now. Like, I would give up on things halfway through. This, you don't really have you do have the option to tag out on it, but like, you know that you're doing something good for you, and it's not really draining through the week or having to remind yourself to do things a certain way, like mantras and things like that. Like, it's the lazy way, but it's not. It's just, I think everyone should do it. But you have to be ready for it. Yeah, definitely. You'd be so much happier. And that one thing that I saw things in other people and thought, in 20 years, I don't want to be like that. And if you can get to it early, then you won't have those people that you look at and go, oh, I don't want to be like that. They're grumpy and they're old and friendless. And then I'm going to turn into that.
Yeah.
No, you can actually enjoy your life and want to go out and do things and be the person that you always wanted to be but didn't think you could get to.